The Mohawk Valley Brownfield Developer Summit is right around the corner, and HRP will once again be participating in this fantastic event that helps connect developers with the communities of the Mohawk Valley. The keynote speaker of this year's summit will be Steve Weikal of MIT, who we were able to sit down and do a quick interview with to help get you excited for this amazing event. We're certain that you'll find Steve's insights to be extremely valuable, and that's why we would encourage you to go down and register for the Brownfield Summit in the links below. So enjoy our brief little interview, and hopefully we will see you there.
I'm Steve Weikal. I'm the industry chair for the Real Estate Transformation Lab at the MIT Center for Real Estate. At the center, we try to understand technology and innovation and the trends that are impacting the global real estate industry. Everything from discovery that happens in a laboratory throughout the adoption by the industry and when it becomes ubiquitous for the way that we do things. I'm delighted to be speaking this year at the Mohawk Valley Brownfield Developers Summit, presenting some of our findings on how AI and other breakthrough technologies that are in many of the headlines on a day-to-day basis are impacting how we think about real estate, where we develop, how we finance, and really what the future of the built environment looks like in our lifetimes. We're seeing a renewed interest in the physical structures that we already have. I'm a developer early in my career, and we're seeing a shift from the tear it down and rebuild to a better understanding of what we currently have. And that's especially relevant to infrastructure. The fact that we have aging infrastructure at so many different levels, and yet we need to build. And so a new appreciation and frankly, a new recognition of the value of existing infrastructure. And I think this plays to Brownfield's redevelopment. As the saying goes, the most resilient building is a building that is already built rather than one that we build new. So I think that's going to be a renewed interest with development and with site location on trying to better take advantage of those resources that are already in place. The Mohawk Valley has a long history of success around manufacturing, successful cities, growth, also tremendous access to natural resources. Those pieces are already in place and really would be the envy of other places in the world that have to either build that or put that in place, whereas the Mohawk Valley already has it. So that is a tremendous competitive advantage when it comes to competing amongst cities and regions elsewhere in the United States and frankly elsewhere around the world. The Mohawk Valley is doing a great job of identifying what its strengths are and also those areas that need improvement to take advantage of what we think is a global reallocation of resources. We're going to see global movement of workforce. We also recognize that AI will allow people to work anywhere. We learned from COVID that workers didn't necessarily have to be in the financial centers of the world or the business centers of the world in order to be productive. So that has now come full circle where there's been migration back into the cities, but then we have these tremendous breakthroughs in AI, which potentially allow workers to be even more productive and more successful in their jobs, and they can live anywhere. And as a result, it becomes more important about the place than actually where the company is. So the Mohawk Valley has these incredible assets that would be appealing to workers from anywhere in the world that would have them want to live in an area as beautiful and as resource rich and as amenity rich as the Mohawk Valley. We're starting to see innovative new approaches to capital formation for real estate development. And by that I mean the traditional structures, the municipal funding structures are under pressure. traditional capital markets are under pressure, and as these new models start to form, I think we will see different kinds of development as a result. For example, the tremendous impact of private equity, the tremendous impact of venture capital. There are examples of venture capital taking a more proactive role in the place where startups are formed and where startups grow and create jobs, and where venture capital potentially becomes the flywheel of the local economy. I think we'll see more emerging clusters of innovation and economic development based on what my colleague Dominic Endicott refers to as knowledge towns. And really, it's the MIT model. Cambridge, Massachusetts benefits from the tremendous output from MIT, tremendous companies that hire many, many workers, and creates this symbiotic relationship between the institute and the commercialization of the invention and discovery that comes out of the institute. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a university. It could be a medical center. It could be a government research facility. But the recognition that those activities no longer have to exist in a bubble, but in fact there are spillover effects that could create these successful clusters of economic development. Those are the opportunities to identify where do those resources and assets exist now, and how what could be added to those to turbocharge that and create new economies around those existing assets. One great advantage that I recognize with the Mohawk Valley is that there are multiple entities, multiple stakeholders, multiple counties all working together. And clearly there is power in numbers, and the fact that all of these groups have come together with a vision for the future, I think positions the Mohawk Valley well to be able to take advantage of these meta trends or mega trends that are taking place in business and in the world, to take full advantage of that as they continue to unfold. The summit has a great program planned. I'm delighted to be a part of it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there.